All right, so while we were up in our room working, we started hearing some drums and we think maybe this is a parade. So Abby has sent me out to go investigate with the camera and see what's going on. If there's a holiday or what, I don't know. So we're gonna go find out. So from what I've been told, this is a marriage proposal or marriage. They've totally shut down the street, which is so awesome. It's so much fun. Good morning, guys. I'm Ryan. This is Abby. Welcome to Walks Among Locals.
So today we are going to take you on a food tour of all of the traditional foods here in Istanbul, and we are going to take you around our neighborhood here in Sultanahmet. We are in the perfect spot. We're staying in a little Airbnb here right above Sal Cafe, and it is a touristed area but not overly touristy. It's about 5 minutes walk from Hagia Sophia and the Blue Mosque, and about another 5 minutes from the Bosphorus. So you can like walk along the promenade there at night, so it's really great. And the restaurants here are the perfect blend of really good traditional food at a super good price. So we love this place, and we've been here about a month now. So we found several places to go and eat, but we have picked out certain items more so than restaurants that we want to show you. So the restaurant we came to film at this morning, we did not expect this at all, because we've like hung out with this guy several times, and he's like life of the party kind of fella. But he did not want to be on camera this morning. So we're just gonna point our camera out in the other direction, respect that, and eat our minimum.
So we're doing a version of a breakfast where it's not completely the Turkish breakfast, because Turkish breakfast is a big, huge spread of just a bunch of things to eat: meat, cheese, bread, dips, and all that. So we're not going to do that this morning, but we're going to have minimum, because every time I've seen minimum, it looks very good. It's like eggs and tomatoes and peppers and cheese, and you know, it just looks really, really good on the little skillet. So that's what we're going to have this morning.
And it's a traditional item at all of these small local restaurants. So it is something that they would have for breakfast. It's just not, if you order a Turkish breakfast at one of these restaurants, you're going to get like a big platter of food. But this is a very traditional thing to have for breakfast. So it looks super good. We'll see if it tastes good. And more important, Abby hasn't had any coffee today, and we know that's not acceptable. So
it's not good.
We're going to have a few cups of coffee too. I don't want to be stupid. Finger cups. And David's got big cup. And if you've seen our recent short, you know how much I hate these finger cups. At least this one you can get food in, but still, I mean, what is this? What is this even? No. Thank you.
You're welcome.
He loves me. Oh, our waiter friend has brought us something else he calls sweet drinks. He said he made it homemade with his hands, and I don't believe him for a second.
Makes him famous apparently.
So we're gonna guess these famous. What do you think? It's got passion fruit in it. It's tasty.
It is tasty.
I
think you're right, though. It's probably,
don't know. It's something tasty. Alright, it has arrived. This is my favorite part of, well, anything else. But here she is.
Turkish omelets.
Yeah, that's what he calls it.
That's what he calls it.
Turkish omelet.
Oh, it looks so good. Cheese, peppers.
Yeah, so it's got tomatoes, cheese, peppers, egg, onion. Mmm. Review of the minimum.
It's good. It did add a little. We did have to add a little bit of salt to it, but other than that, no, it's very tasty.
Honestly, not my favorite, but it was good. Like I could eat it. I could eat it daily, but it's a little. Eggs are not my favorite thing in the world anyway. Just to be, I mean, I eat them, but they're just like it's not something I normally crave, except for deviled eggs that like Thanksgiving. But it's a little watery for me.
That's true. That's the tomato juice and pepper juice like that. That kind of made it.
But the flavor's really good.
Yeah.
And it with the bread that like kind of soaked me out. That's pretty tasty.
Yeah.
I could eat it. Obviously.
I mean,
I'm not a huge breakfast eater either. I generally just drink a pot of coffee. That's usually my breakfast. All right, guys, let's talk fine details of coffee here because it's important to me. All right, so regular coffee, like American drip coffee, you would put the grounds in, you run water over it, and it filters through, and then you just get like the brown water that's left over, right? So Turkish coffee is a totally different ballgame. So the coffee is ground really, really, really finely, usually by a hand grinder, so it's like almost powdery. And then you actually put the grounds in boiling water and let it boil and boil and boil and boil. And it kind of becomes frothy, and as it boils, it obviously gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And then it is never filtered. It's actually served with the grounds in it, but it's not gross like you would think. Like if you took our coffee grounds and put it in there, it's not like that. But it does sort of have like a texture to it, like a grit to it. It's super strong. I personally love it if it's made from a good bean. If it's made from a bad one, you'll know it's bitter, it's ucky, it's not good. Strong coffee from a badly roasted bean is very bad. But from a really good roasted bean and done correctly, like it's so tasty. Probably the best coffee I've ever had in the world is of the same variety in Ethiopia. But it's really good here in Turkey as well. So we have ordered a couple Turkish coffees now. They usually come in this like beautiful little container too, so that even makes you feel fancier, and that's fun. But if you've never had Turkish coffee, you might want to have it on a full stomach and not as your first cup in the morning, because no one wants a stomach ulcer. We're back to this. It's a pretty good one. Not the best one I've ever had, but pretty good.
So our minimum is only like 20 lira, and then each coffee was about 15. So we had 4. So so it was only about $9, a little over $9 for this whole meal.
So generally in this area, the food is pretty cheap. But if you get something that's like a novelty, like say a Turkish coffee or even an American coffee, then it's going to cost you a little bit more. So like our coffee, each coffee was almost as much as our entire meal. So the meal was about 20 Turkish lira, which is not even $3. And then each coffee was $2 a piece. So we wanted to show you the Turkish coffee. There are places to get really cheap coffee, and alcohol is the same way here. If you're a drinker, be careful of drinking at dinner because it can be really expensive here. But then at the grocery store, it's not. So it's like one of those things that you have to kind of be careful, and coffee's the same way. The grocery store, it's really cheap. At some restaurants, it's really cheap, but in others, it's like a novelty thing, and it's gonna cost you more than your meal. So just make sure you look at the menu before you go like willy-nilly ordering stuff around here. All right, guys, so for lunch today, we are going to go into a traditional buffet here in Turkey. I don't really know if they have a name. We tried to look it up, we couldn't find anything. But basically, it's an easy way to eat if you're a foreigner because you don't have to know the name of anything. You can just go in and go, I want that, that, that. So, you know what you want?
All of it? No.
All of it. It looks amazing. Okay, let's.
know what that is, but that looks.
I don't know how one of these.
Yeah, let's say
one of these.
Meatballs.
Yeah,
Meatball special. I like it.
It's beautiful.
Yes, one of those.
Yum.
Another?
And maybe some of the. Is that lamb?
No, beef.
Beef.
This is lamb.
Okay, we'll do the beef. We'll do the beef too.
Beef.
Yeah. So pretty.
It's a nice spread. That looks like really good.
This is beautiful. All right, babe. Anything else
want rice?
that you want? Yes, rice, please. Perfect.
Little bit juice.
Oh, yes, that would be great.
Move it. Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah,
Very
that's
good.
good.
Right.
Perfect. All right, guys, so for about 100 lira, which is, I don't know, 12 bucks, something like that, right? We've got, and we're right in the middle of the tourist area, so it's a little bit cheaper in our neighborhood, actually, but this is where we were, so. We told you we were gonna film our neighborhood, but we ended up wandering out of it to do something else, and then we got super hungry for lunch, so here we are. But we've got 3 different meals here. So we got the beef stew. It's actually pretty common for them to have like a stew or a soup at lunchtime. Like that's kind of a normal thing. And then we got what he called the meatball special, which appears to be a giant hunk of meat with some like cheesy goodness of starch on top. I'm not sure if it's potato or some other sort of starch, but it looks delightful. And then just rice covered in like some of the juice from the beans that they make. I'm not sure what these beans are called, but you see them in every single one of these restaurants. It's like a white bean or a red tomato or paste, something like if they're from the south, like a can of pork and beans. Is basically what it looks like.
All right.
What are you going for?
Oh man, meatball. 'Cause
Meatball surprise?
That's definitely what.
I'm not surprised. What did you
No.
call it? Meatball.
Meatball special. Ooh, yeah. That's real good. It's got, I mean, it tastes like a beef. It tastes like a beef pot pie type of thing, you know, with the or shepherd's pie.
Yeah.
Because the ground beef, it's got really good flavor to it, and the juice really good and juicy. Yeah, that's so good. You get the cheese and the mashed potatoes.
It is potatoes.
Yes. So yeah, that's just amazing.
Now I need a nap.
And these type of shops, they always smell so good because all the spices.
do. All right, so what kind is it?
It's with pistachio.
It's the pistachio.
Pistachio.
Okay, that's the one you're supposed to have.
Yep. Really flaky and looks really good.
It tastes right.
Is it good?
Very good. I mean, pistachio, honey,
Yeah. Pistachio, honey, butter.
butter. It's nice and flaky, sweet.
Good.
Yeah, it's good. I know you don't like baklava,
No, I don't, but it's still beautiful.
but it's still beautiful and it's still really good.
What's the name of your shop? Sunny's Bazaar. It's beautiful.
So these are located everywhere in the city. These are samichi. We call it circle bread. And this one has cheese in it, but you can find them everywhere in the city. It's about 5 lira. They're kind of like a bagel-ish texture with sesame seeds on it. Very tasty.
My favorite street snack is the roasted corn, so I'm going over here. We're from the United States. Yeah, from Arkansas.
It's an English.
That's okay. That's okay. You're doing great. This is my favorite snack. Yeah, my best snack.
Salt?
Yes, please. Okay, so they sell this all over the Arab world, but also in places like Africa. The first time I ever ate grilled street corn was in Ethiopia. It does taste really good. Like, it's super tasty, but also it smells like heaven. Oh yeah. You can smell these stands from like 2 blocks away. They smell so amazing. And this tastes, it's a super sweet corn, and then they grill it, put salt on it. It's great. And they're like less than $1. The only thing bad about this snack is that then you have like black pieces of corn all in your teeth. Because it's impossible to eat corn on the cob without it being all in your teeth. Alright you guys, so we're going to end our Istanbul food tour with our favorite Turkish ravioli that we have found so far in this city. It's at Hünkar Cafe and Restaurant here in this really beautiful little park that's like maybe 2 blocks from our apartment. We love it here. The owner is super friendly and the food is fabulous. I'm excited.
All right, so I have decided for my dinner, we're gonna share our dinners, but we're doing kind of family style. But one thing you're supposed to order here is like a sarma or dolma, and we've already had kind of a dolma in, was it Albania? And so here we're having sarma, which sarma is, what I've read, I think it's similar to that, but it's grape leaves and it's wrapped up with all the spices and I think rice and stuff that's in the middle of it is what I'm thinking. So we're gonna get that, and Abby's gonna get the Turkish ravioli, which is very good at this place. So we got our meals to share. Abby got the ravioli that we loved, and I'm gonna try this. I don't know what's in this or anything about it or what it tastes like. So here we go.
Go for it.
See what this is. Okay. Very, you got vinegar, lots of vinegar in it, but it does stuff with like the rice. There's lots of good flavor. That's what I like about this restaurant. There's lots of good flavor to it, and the yogurt's handmade or homemade, I guess not homemade, handmade, but it's it's got really good spice to it. Oh, that's good. It's really good.
All right, y'all, I must admit, I'm unsure about this. I don't super love green things. So, we're gonna see. Oh. You really can't even tell it's wrapped in a leaf. Like, that sounds weird. I know it sounds like I'm lying, but it's so soft and like it's almost like it's not even there. You just kind of get the rice and all the vinegary, good, spicy flavor. So, yeah, it's tasty.
So this homemade yogurt was fantastic, and yogurt is a Turkish word. So yogurt kind of originated in Turkey, or yeah. So when you're here, don't call it Greek yogurt. They don't like that. They're the ones who invented it. So yeah,
It's their yogurt.
it's their yogurt.
All right, guys, so I know this Turkish ravioli might look a little bit gross, but basically it is, sorry, hang on. All right, so basically it is a minced meat, and what I like about this restaurant is that it's not super minced, so you can actually get the texture of meat in it. It's not just mush. So It has like a meat base inside the little tortellinis or whatever they are, the little raviolis. In Turkish, it's called manti, or Turkish ravioli. That's what it is on the menus. But it's made with a yogurt and mint and butter sauce, and then usually it has like a red spicy sauce on top of it too. And this one has olive oil as well that the red spicy sauce is like made with, and it's so good. Yeah. It's just as good today. So good.
Definitely didn't have a problem with any of that.
It's very good.
So good.
Alright, you guys, so if you've watched our channel for very long, you know that I don't like baklava. It's a texture thing. I've tried it many times. So it's not that I haven't tried it. I've tried it in many places. I just don't like it. And I feel so bad here in Turkey because everybody wants to offer us baklava for dessert, and I just have to be like, no thank you, no thank you. And I try not to tell them I don't like it, but usually they push and they're like, no, you must try it, it's fresh, and I'm like, I don't like it. So, but we're gonna try a different dessert tonight. I have been eyeing this dessert for weeks since we've been here in Istanbul. It's called kanafe, or kunafe, and it's a cheese-based dessert, but then it has like a crystallized syrupy stuff kind of on top. It looks amazing. It looks like cheese pie. I don't know, but it looks delightful. I think sometimes it doesn't use cheese. It uses like a clotted cream or something like that. It looks delightful. I don't know what's in it, but it looks like crack, and I hope it tastes as good as it looks. Alright, so this tastiness has arrived. I must admit, I find it strange that it seems to be served at every restaurant with like a colored or flavored ice cream, which I'm unsure about. I feel like it should just have vanilla, but what the heck do I know? Oh my goodness. It's like got a crunchy top and a squishy middle, which is what I expected. Alright, you guys, so on my initial look at this, I'm concerned because the top looks a little like coconut shavings. I'm not really sure, but it says no coconut, so I'm gonna trust it. Maybe it's just like sugary stuffness. I don't know. So let's give it a shot. Okay, that's even better than it looked. Okay. The stuff on the top must be some kind of grain or something. It tastes exactly like a frosted mini wheat, like a hot, melted, frosted mini wheat. You know the cereal? It tastes like that. It has the same texture, but it's ooey and crunchy and warm and cheesy. It sounds weird that like sugary syrup, crystallized sugar would go on top of cheese and taste good, but it does. It's delightful.
All right, let's see.
It's tasty.
You're right. It definitely tastes like, what did you say, frosted mini wheats? Yes, honey. You can really taste the honey in that. The cheese gives that saltiness to it. Kind of that, where that cheese in the middle is.
So good.
Oh man, that's good. Wow, that was really good. You need to try that.
I'm so full.
I'm so full, but so satisfied in pretty much everything we ate here.
Okay guys, we can truly say that the food here in Turkey is some of our favorite food. The food in Istanbul is fabulous. There's a great cafe around every single corner. We hope you saw that today and saw I made a friend. Anyway, we hope you saw Istanbul can be a little crazy, but it's a good kind of crazy. Alright guys, hopefully you saw something amazing today that you're going to try when you get to Istanbul, or try to make it home. There's recipes out there. But next week we are taking you on an amazing journey through the rest of southwest Turkey. We're going to rent a car and we're going to hit up some incredible historical places, ruins. It's going to be great. Come back next week. Not get lost.